Hey, what's going on, everybody? I thought we would talk a little bit today about manualing your gameplay because I see a lot of questions about it. I see a lot of questions about it in my Discord, and I see quite a lot of comments about it, which I wasn't really anticipating, or I'd have made a video on it sooner. There's some confusion about when you should manual, like which situations are good to manual, and then how to do it effectively. So I thought I would go through and just show you some examples. I think it's hard to kind of give a blanket statement on something like this, but I'll show you some examples of when I do it and when I know other people like to do it, and how much of an impact it has. Okay, so first things first, go into your settings or your account and then go to method. Here you can change how it works. So you can either have it on virtual joystick, which means wherever if you're on BlueStacks, wherever you click, it's going to basically create a little space for a joystick, and you aim it as though you're aiming with a joystick, or if you're on your phone and you use your finger. And then if you use finger, it's just a matter of click and drag, right? I prefer that method, but if you like the joystick thing, the option's there, but you can change how it works in that screen, okay? So that's kind of an important thing. As far as when to do it, there's a couple of like staples of it, I guess I'll say. One is the pterodome. So I'll jump in and we'll just do a pterodome run. My Terra team's a little slow. I'm gonna do one of the older stages, just so we can do it a little bit faster. Just for the sake of emphasis, and maybe I can drop a healer here. Who can we throw in here that might speed this up? My Randall's not a damage Randall. You know what? We'll let him get some playtime too, because his defense down will work from outside the ring. So let's jump in here and do this real quick. When you start the battle, there's going to be a little swirl over here that says auto on it, right? And your team's going to be on full auto generally. So you'll come in here. Here's where you can turn off and on who is on auto. You can have everyone on or off auto, or you can individually turn certain people off. Taylor is a great, perhaps the best example of who you're going to be turning off and controlling manually, okay? He's really useful in all three of the dungeons by having him off of auto, okay? What auto means, also, to be clear in case you're brand new, auto just means when their ultimate charges, they're going to use their ultimate immediately, and they're just going to use it wherever they want to use it, right? Some champs you can aim, some champs move, and you can control where they move to. Different champs have different mechanics, but that's what auto means. It means as soon as they get their ultimate, they're going to do it, and sometimes that's not great, right? Taylor's an example of someone who you can get a lot more out of him if you'll control him manually. So if you're not on auto, when their picture glows, to use their ult, if you just click their picture, they'll just use it. But again, some champs have the ability to aim or jump in a direction. So Taylor's picture's lit up now. So if I click his picture and hold, I can click and drag. And I know that his ultimate, he's going to jump to a particular spot and then unleash the damage from his skill, right? So in pterodome, you know that anyone outside of the ring has their damage greatly reduced. They might as well not be here if they're not inside the ring and they're supposed to be doing damage. So we want to get Taylor inside the ring. However, we want to keep him out of danger the best that we can. And the best way to do that is to keep him on the edge, right? So you'll find that spot where it's going to be most ideal for Taylor. And here is where you'll consider which way is the boss looking, because I also want to get Taylor around behind the boss as quick as possible so he can do more damage. One, he'll be safer. Two, he'll do more damage, okay? So the boss is kind of angled down at the moment, so I'm going to bring Taylor up here, and what I like to do is kind of just butt the edge of his circle up to the edge of the ring, and then maybe a little bit outside of it. You want to be real careful, because if he's outside of it, he's not going to get his damage. Now watch his damage start shooting up now that he's inside. See, if you leave him on auto, he's just going to jump to the back line. He's not going to jump in the ring and do it. So now we've got another ult here with Taylor, and I want to get him around further behind the boss, right? Just kind of optimal positioning for him. And this is what we'll do. Now with Taylor, I feel like sometimes it's hit or miss. Here, he seems to jump himself out of the ring if you turn him off of auto. So I don't ever turn Taylor off of auto in here. Another cool thing about Taylor is I'll send him over here to ult this bomb. He'll ult it, and when the bomb dies, he's going to charge another ult. So you just leap him to each bomb. which helps you get rid of them a lot faster, right? But that's how you do it. It's just a matter of clicking his picture and dragging him where you want him to go, okay? And then someone like Ravenna, who has that fan-shaped damage that she'll do with her ult, you can aim it, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait until he commits to a direction, and then we're gonna start working to get around behind him again. If I got a Randall in here with some damage, I might be able to get my limited tickets from here. So that's it. That's like the perfect example of how to do it in Pterodome and why you'd want to do it. Because again, Taylor can do a crazy amount of damage to the boss, but he's not going to do it on his own. You have to get him in a position to do it. All right. Disa Caves, a good example. Again, we'll do it on 12 just for the sake of speed. Maybe we'll try 13. Maybe I can speed up my 13 run a little bit. Same thing here. Disa Caves, I don't usually do this because I haven't needed to, but I'm going to show you a strategy that I know is popular for Disa, okay? The cool thing about Ravenna in here is she'll target the healing beetle on her own. At stage 12 and beyond, every shield, after the shield is broken, he's going to... Oh, I forgot to turn him off auto. He's going to... We'll restart the run because I want to have his first ult. After the shield goes down, he's going to get a healer that's going to spawn. And the quicker you can kill the healer, the better off you're going to be, right? So we'll turn Taylor off. Cool thing about Ravenna, she'll focus it automatically. But some champs won't. Taylor won't generally. Serena won't in my experience, or Sorietta won't in my experience. Unless you bring Taylor over here, because this is where the beetle's going to spawn, okay? So the first ult Taylor gets, I like to drop him over here. I don't do it, but I know this is the strategy. I haven't needed to do it yet, but it's definitely viable. And hopefully we'll see if it speeds my time up enough for me to get these limited cards. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, now we can turn Taylor back on auto and he'll stay here. Again, Pterodome, he jumps himself back out of the ring in my experience. Maybe you've had a different experience with it. And in here, the couple of times I've tried this, he'll stay here. So let's see what he does with this ult now. Yeah, and the good thing about him being there is now you see he's focusing the healing beetle. So between Ravenna and Taylor, it spawns and dies. You know what I mean? So this is a good reason to manual and Disa, and again, a good example of a champ that does it really well and why you might want to do it. Let's see if we can manage to get this limited card speed clear bonus. Also, I did a video on Botmark in here, and if you don't know about Botmark in here yet, the boy's crazy. So get him built and get him in here. Someone commented that he's only good for the lower stages. Nuh-uh. He's in my 14 team, and he's on the team that's gonna clear 15. I'm this close to clearing 15. I just need a little bit more sustain. And a couple more evolutions. If I get a couple more evolutions in him, it's over. Or one more evolution. I forgot I got him up here. Yeah, so he's one away from Immortal. I'm stoked about that. We might get this. I think we might get this. Which will be good. I'm getting close to pity on Skewer and Hattie. I want to get at least one copy before they go. Hurry, hurry. Yeah, we got that. We got that. All right, there you go. So that's the times that I've gone back and done it on auto and Taylor stays over on the other side and Ravenna has to take care of the healer by herself. It slows the run down because the healer's here longer, right? So if you drag Taylor over to the spot where the healer's going to spawn and then turn him back on auto, he'll stay there and knock it out. And then Kansara Marsh. Again, we'll just drop down to a lower stage. And here, Pterodome is it's really important if you're trying to use Taylor in there that you do it, that you do the manual thing. Kansara Marsh might be the most important place to do it. It is really, really a tough dungeon. So Taylor, we're going to turn off, and Ravenna I'm going to turn off because we want to control what Ravenna's doing so that she doesn't waste her ult. One, at inopportune times, and two, on the wrong thing, okay? We want her to ult the boss when she can. If we leave her on auto, she'll focus clusters of spiderlings, but she has a tendency to focus the not green cluster sometimes, and that's real frustrating to watch. So we want to avoid that, so we'll turn them both off. I'm going to show you what I do with Taylor in here by leaving him on auto, or leaving him on manual. And actually, we can test it this run. I want to see if he stays here. I'm pretty sure he won't. I'm pretty sure he'll jump back. Actually, I know he'll jump back. So I like to drag Taylor right here, right in front of Serena, so that he'll focus the middle boss. And then I just keep ulting him in that spot. I keep dragging him right back to that spot so that he'll stay in the middle and focus the middle boss. Some people drag him down here. I've seen that be effective as well. It kind of keeps him out of harm's way. And he's still putting damage in, but he's usually going to put it in on this boss right here, or like the minion. I like to drag him in the middle. So far, he's pretty safe in the middle, and he focuses the boss in the middle, right? So I'm going to drag him here, and then Ravenna. We'll go ahead and take these out, and we just kind of, again, are going to. Here, we can go ahead and use it on the boss because there's no spiderlings, and she'll have another ult by the time we need it, right? I know that this green patch right here, there's going to be some spiderlings coming soon, but not yet, right? We're going to have another ult before we need it for that. So we're going to go ahead and let her pump some damage into the boss for now. And it's great they spawn there because now I can wait on those and kind of kill two birds, right? Taylor, I'm just going to put him right back where he goes. Ravenna, see now they've hatched and there's green ones there. I can take them all out. Which on auto she would have done that fine probably because it worked out. Oh, did the game do its thing to me? That's annoying. Sometimes it'll do that. It's a weird freeze. But for example, if the egg spiders had been here and the green spiders had been here, she would have focused the green spider or the egg spiders. And the green spiders would have just gone in unless she got another ult and there were not any more spiders to focus, right? Sometimes her priority is a little off and it's frustrating. So in the higher stages especially, it's not a bad idea to turn at least one of your AoE champs onto manual, and just so you can control when and where they place them. I'm not going to bother starting a new run for you to see it in action because I think you get the point that I'm saying. But anyway, that's an example of it in all three of the dungeons, okay? And then sometimes it's going to be hard to illustrate because I can't go back and do soul mine stages and stuff. But there's been certain times on certain stages where there will be like a quite that will jump into my back line, and she'll focus him with her ult instead of all of the squishies up front fighting my front line. And if she'll help my front line kill those squishies, everybody can then turn around and come focus White, because he's hard to kill in the higher stages. The dude lives forever. So if she's dumping ults into him, it's really not going to do us much good, because he might die near the time that the timer's running out. But then all these up here are still alive because Crete and Artis are not built for damage. They're built for protecting my Ravenna so she can melt everybody, right? So sometimes it's a good idea to turn it off in storyline and focus groups rather than someone that's jumping in your back line. Because Quite is annoying and he's kind of a problem, but if you've got good sustain, if you've got your healers situated, he's not gonna like kill your team immediately, generally. It's better to kill the masses so that everyone can come focus him, rather than try to focus him and then everybody just stays alive until the time runs out. You know what I mean? So it'll be instances like that where you kind of have to see why you might be failing a stage and think, would it make more sense if I aimed someone's AoE ult in a certain direction? Or, you know, maybe if I drag Taylor, maybe you're using Taylor in storyline, maybe if I drag him to a different spot, he gets focused by a different enemy and doesn't get killed as fast. Again, it's hard to illustrate because I can't go back and do storyline stages and stuff, but I think the big examples and the points kind of made with the three big dungeons here, and then you can apply that to some other content. And again, Soul Mine and Story, you just kind of have to sometimes see why you're failing and adjust appropriately. But I hope that kind of clears it up. I hope it at least explains the concept, and maybe the examples helped. I know it's kind of a weird thing that maybe you haven't seen much of, especially if you came from something like Raid, where there's none of that exists. If you have any more questions about it, if I didn't cover anything, ask me in the comments. And if there's enough questions about things that I didn't cover, perhaps it'll be worth a follow-up video and we'll cover more aspects of it. But hopefully this clears it up. So we'll see how it goes. But if not, we'll do our best next time to cover everything. So that's it. I'm getting out of here. Appreciate y'all. Later.